Hello and welcome to race number one of the playoffs. If you look on the right side of your screen, so you're right on board with Jonathan Mazzella. The schedule for the rest of the season. The blue is the first round of the playoffs. The gold is the final round. So, we got Kansas this week, Charlotte, and Vegas. 3.5 miles. Who has the talent and skill to manipulate these race cars, get around these big tracks as good as they can, and then who makes it to that final round of Talladega, Martinsville, and Phoenix? A chaotic one. Wild card at Talladega, Martinsville, the shortest track on the schedule, and Phoenix. So there's a lot to play for here tonight, with a lot of opportunity for these playoff drivers to make it to that second round. Anything can happen over a 20-car field. They're finishing up practice right now. We want to give a thanks to Jonathan Mazzella in that beautiful number 41 for sponsoring the race as well, for the Pizzaboy Streets Closed Pizzaboy 120. So we appreciate him sponsoring, like always. So his second race of the year sponsoring. Hopefully get to talk to him at some point tonight, as he's going to practice his pit stops down pit road. I'm going to turn off the volume because for some reason now it's still coming up. So that's stupid. Voice chat. Can I just make that go away, actually? That deal? Let's, I'm sure if I ignore. Can I just, temporary, holy crap, that's a lot. Yeah, that's good down there. Actually, I'll do it for the broadcast. I'll put it up here so it's hidden. All right, there's a lot of crap on the screen. We're going to turn that back off and get rid of that. So there we go. We should be all right. But with 1 second left in practice, we are ready to get going for qualifying. First race of the playoffs at one of the most unique 1.5 miles on the schedule. This racetrack has multi-groove racing. I think that's what we'll see here in qualifying. Who is going to put it against the wall and try to rip the boards here at Kansas? First one out the pits is Robert King. Very good in qualifying most of this season. Had a pole earlier in the year. We'll see if he's able to match that today. Gonna run the bottom first time by. Looked like an okay line there. Let's watch Mazzella here. Race sponsor. And that MoFlow Racing 41. Let's go ahead right on board with him as he sets his qualifying lap, see where he times out. Gonna run the bottom through 3 and 4 for the first time, for the out lap at least. We'll see, but we're gonna right on board with him here. Does he go to the top or to the bottom? He goes to the bottom for the first lap. So something unique there. A little bit of a twitch there in the center. Able to keep it straight, though. Down the back stretch. Seemed like a pretty decent first lap. Still to the bottom. A lot of these laps won't be better on the second because how they are. The momentum is at this racetrack and things like that. So we'll see if his lap is going to be able to get any better than what it was. Kind of runs the middle, drives back down the hill. But he's going to complete his lap. Mikey Adams here. Fan favorite Mikey. Opportunity for him to join us in the booth tonight since Alex is unfortunately not here. And he is currently fired. We'll see if he's rehired for next week. He is watching one of the worst sports imaginable, baseball. Don't come at me. It's true. Mikey Adams right there goes 11th on the board. Good lap there for Mikey. Got Matt Frady here. Going to be one of the last ones to qualify. He's going to go up to the top now. Haven't seen anybody run the top. Mazzella was on the bottom. It's going to get a little bit loose, actually. He's 17th on the first lap. So he goes to the top in 1 and 2, bottom 3 and 4. That's the preferred one from previous races that we've seen. Walker goes second. Does Matt have anything for Frady? Or does Matt have anything for Randy? He doesn't. Goes 4th on the board. But the top 7 are all within a 1/10 of a second. As Swartz is finishing up his lap, let's see, can he go better than 24th? To 4th on the board, which pushes Matt to 5th. McElroy is finishing his lap as well, or just starting it. P26 right now enters the corner actually pretty good. Up on the high side, didn't seem to have that loose bobble with 1 minute left in qualifying. Top 8 are all within a 1/10 of a second, similar to a Cars Tour race. And as McElroy finishes his lap, we're going to take a look at the point standing, so I'll make this a little bit bigger for everybody. Here is the point situation for the playoffs. So, make it big for right now. McElroy finishes his first lap, P25. So, Randy Arms is the points leader. Lilith Peters second, Matt Frady third, tied for third with Nathaniel, Landon, and Kyle. Then it's going to be Casey Brown, Michael Cochrane, Jonathan Mazzella, Kevin Ritchie, Jonathan Swartz, and Brandon in that 44 scheme. Where's he at? Was the last one to make it. He's not on track anymore, but I do like Brandon's pit scheme. McElroy's going to hit the wall just for good luck. Try to flatten it out. But that is the 12 in the playoffs. So, we will see, with a few bonus points, obviously, for wins and things like that. So, Randy, Lilith, Matt, Nathaniel, Landon, and Kyle all have bonus points, which could help them by the end of this round. But 12 drivers enter tonight's race. And in 3 weeks, we're going to eliminate half of them. But on the pole, it's going to be Randy Arms in that number 8, and to his outside in the 23, Walker. It's going to be Kyle Ritchie, P3, and Jonathan Swartz in P4. Row number 3 is going to be Matt Frady and Nathaniel Landwehr, 2 of the heavy hitters in the field, starting in row number 3. Row 4, sponsor of the race, Jonathan Mazzella, and to his outside, it's going to be Lilith Peters. P9 is going to be Elliott M. Brown. Good qualifying laps for them. We have a lot of new drivers in this field as well, so that'll be something cool to watch. There's Brandon, last playoff driver. Robert King, Michael Cochrane. P13 and P14. Mikey Adams, fan favorite Mikey Adams there in P15. Good lap for him. And to his outside is going to be Cade Ferguson in the 25. Landon Quisenberry a little bit down the running order compared to what we normally see out of him. So we'll see if he's able to make that up with Jake Nippers on his outside. P19 is going to be Strader and Flanagan to his outside. Kevin Ritchie, not a good qualifying from him. Struggling tonight, it seems like. And Murphy Jr. starting closer to the rear of the field, which will be fun to see him drive through it. Eric Shields in P23 and Michael McElroy in P24. We have Wyatt Garrett in that number 25 or starting P25, and to his outside is going to be Randy Sample in the 24, starting at the back like he normally does, and drives to the field. So, few drivers to look out for tonight. If they do end up wrecking, we'll be joining the booth with me. First up is going to be Wyatt Garrett. If Wyatt does wreck, he will be joining me in the booth. So that'll be something cool to not look forward to, but if he does wreck, he can join. So that'll be kind of cool if he does, I guess. If he does, would like to join. Mikey as well, fan favorite Mikey Adams. Good on the mic. We'll see if he's good from the other side commentating the race. But the field is set and ready to roll. Get your popcorn, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have a barn burning tonight here at Kansas. New outside Walker got a EOL there, so unfortunate. He's going to be starting at the back, but that'll be fun to watch him come through the field as we are getting ready to go green here at Kansas. Randy Arm, Jonathan Swartz, round 1 of the playoffs. What just happened? I believe they delayed it, which is not on me. So my call was building up to it, and that did not work. Gumbo Flow Racing, my pick, number 41 to win. He's got a shot at it. One of the best. He normally qualifies around that 10th to 5th range, and always by the end of it seems to be able to come to the field and be there at the end. So Jonathan Mazzella is definitely going to be one to look out for, as they delayed it to get everybody situated. Unfortunate tonight, we are not going to have... Oh, never mind, Walker is going to be up here, I guess. But now we should be set to go back, to go to the green. It's time to go playoff racing. Round 1, race 1. Arms and Walker to lead them to the green. They fire, and we're racing for the playoffs. Good restart for both rows. You see Nathaniel's going to look to the middle. Randy's able to clear for the lead. It's going to be 3 wide there for second. Already 3 wide early. Kansas is one of the racetracks and one of the only ones in iRacing where you can start that. And we're seeing it here. Get a good zoom out of the field here. Three wide a little bit more. That was Lilith, Mazzella, Swartz. See this whole field. Multiple on the wall off the exit of 2. See Quisenberry there, Murphy Jr. Murphy is a new driver to this race, season debut. But not new to most of the drivers in here knows him. He is a 7.1K I-rated, but hasn't raced in a while. So we'll see if he's able to make his way through the field. And how quickly he's doing it so far. But still the same top 3 we've had at the start. Randy, Nathaniel, and just behind him, Walker in the 23, looking to the inside. Chris Walker, his first race with us as well. 3.6K I rating. Looking to have a lot of speed, putting the pressure on Nathaniel. He's been one of the quickest and most unlucky drivers in the field this season. Lilith Peters, first one to go to that top side. Trying to make that top work. Now goes to the bottom of the racetrack. Does anybody else go up? You see Swartz. Swartz is always a driver that likes the far outside, but just doesn't have the speed right now that it seems like he's needing. Dropped a lot of spots early. Could just be a slow, ooh, a little bit close there, but could just be a slow car at the moment, trying to save tire maybe. But right now, we're seeing a struggling Jonathan Mazzell as he dropped back a few spots. Same thing with Matt Frady. But at any moment, things could change. As everybody's kind of single filed out, we're still watching Mazzell, or Swartz try to go to the top side. He's trying to get around Matt Frady. He should have a little bit of a run here. Matt's going to come up. Swartz is in the wall just a little bit. Really working that outside line, though. Trying to get the run. We'll see if he does. He doesn't really get a run on Matt at all. But then we have Brown all over the back bumper of Kyle Ritchie. So 2 playoff drivers as well going after it. 8 out of the top 10 drivers are playoff drivers. And we're seeing Nathaniel. He's going to go to the top side to try to defend from Chris Walker on the inside. Randy's loving seeing this out the rear window. Any little help that he can get to build a bigger gap, especially for those that stage win, will be big. And Chris Walker's just now able to clear. Nathaniel is going to go to the inside. Good move there from Nathaniel. A little bit of a crossover. The bottom seems to work better in 3 and 4 than it does in 1 and 2. But that being said, you have to be careful not to wash up at all. And we almost saw it. But still up front, your leader or any arms. Points leader as well. Matt Frady back here with Casey Brown. Starting to lose a few spots there from Matt, running that bottom. Could be a tire saving strategy, but also could be a tire saving strategy from Swartz behind, who's also lost a few spots. So Swartz has been running the top side. Matt has been running the bottom. We'll see who's got better tires by the end of it. Gonna follow Kyle Ritchie to the bottom of the racetrack there. Right on board with him and see how tight these cars get when you're tucked behind them. But he's going to run to the middle lane there. Should have a tiny run to come up on corner exit. Matt might be able to clear. Going to go into 1. He's going to be clear at the center. We'll see if Kyle is able to get the run on corner exit. He's one of the best at ripping the fence. But Matt Frady's going to move back into the 6th spot. Seeing drivers move up now. See Nathaniel. There's Chris Walker. Peters to the bottom. Mazzella just there. Let's watch Mazzella. Let's see where the top 5 go. This track is one of the only tracks in IRacing that the multi-groove racing is. So Randy goes to the bottom. Chris Walker goes to the outside. Nathaniel goes to the inside. Lilith Peters goes to the outside. And Mazzella to the bottom. So you see the stagger from these drivers. One goes to the inside, the other goes to the outside. It kind of depends. Wherever the car in front of you goes, you don't follow because of that dirty air. So Chris Walker is going to get to the outside wall, though, which is going to slow him down. They're going to be almost contact. 3 wide for a split second on the front straightaway. Chris Walker loses a lot of momentum, though. So lots going on here in the early runnings. Kyle's going to get really close to Chris Walker's door, trying to clear him as soon as possible. Now that he's lost a few spots and the drivers have fallen, he's fallen back into the clutches of drivers who have probably been saving a lot of this time. We'll see if he's burned them up or not. A little bit further back in the field, though. Cochrane, one of our playoff drivers. 18th, so not a good points day at the moment for him. And that Singler from number 42. He's got a few playoff drivers, though, in front of him, so there's a big few battles going on. Robert is in the wall. They're going to be close to... There are going to be 3 wide. That's Mikey Adams on the bottom. Robert King on the outside. And that's Quisenberry. And the sandwich. A little bit up more. Brandon. Shimmer Shine here. Another playoff driver, last one to make it in. Running 11th, gained a few spots from where he started. He's also passed Matt Frady, so showing a lot of speed here as we have a tandem going on the front straightaway. Glenn Murphy trying to work over Jonathan Swartz and Walker. He's going to run over that seam, got a little bit loose. You see, because he was so close, didn't have clean air on it. We'll see what lane he picks here. Probably going to run a lane lower. He does. Try to keep the left front with some air on it underneath Cole Walker. As Swartz is able to clear now. Back up to the front. Jonathan Mazzella has gained a few spots. We got a challenge for the lead. Randy's really working that dirty air. Going to come across the nose of Nathaniel. Try to get him tight. Able to hold it. Ooh, Nathaniel got way loose. Same thing with Swartz just behind. Turn 2 seems to be like there's a lot going on here. We're not halfway through the potential stage. So the stage will be at 40 to 50. In here, the random stage. So it'll be from 40 to 50 whenever iRacing decides to throw it. So I don't know if these drivers are able to make it that far. We may see green flag pit stops in this first stage. As Casey Brown is clear, as there's contact. That's going to be Walker coldly inside. Chris Walker, sorry. Chris Walker. I've been saying Cole the last few laps. My apologies. Still learning the new people's names. So Chris able to save it somehow. Great save, actually. But going to hurt him tire-wise a ton. But Casey Brown worked himself in the top 5 spot here. Greg Elliott inside the top 6. And there's a battle for the lead. Nathaniel to the inside. Randy on the outside. Is he going to be able to clear, though? He's close. Just isn't able to yet. Onboards is not working great. Nathaniel really working that bottom lane, but Randy's on the top side with the momentum. They're going to be side by side down the back straightaway for the lead. Nathaniel might have to throw that slide job, but Randy's really good at ripping that outside line. You can see him there. Nathaniel's going to be clear, but does Randy have enough to get to his right rear to try to fight it? Tries to throw the fake crossover, moves to the bottom, goes back to the outside line. The bottom isn't as good in 1. But Nathaniel is able to hold off Randy and move him in the lead on lap number 21. With them battling a little bit, that allowed Lilith Peters and Mazzella to start to catch as Lilith got a little bit sideways there. This is where the tire wear will start to come into play. How hard you drive it in the early runnings. Lilith was one of the first ones to that top side. And I think we're seeing the problem with that. With her getting a little bit loose there. And that's also let Casey Brown and Elliott. Was that a pit stop? Is that Randy to pit road? Randy on pit road. Splits it. So Randy Arms on pit road, the first one down on pit road. P2 got past, decided to make it early. We'll see if Nathaniel is going to do the call to try to fight it. He isn't. Is there going to be anybody? It's going to be Lilith Peters. She has a lot of tire wear, but should able to get it slowed down. That was a little close. Could be fast on pit road. Lilith Peterson next on pit road. That could have been big if she speeds. We'll see if Nathaniel comes down pit road. I don't think so. He's usually one of the ones that plays it pretty safe, stays a little bit long. But already pit stops is surprising. We're halfway through the potential stage now. As Mazzella's coming to pit road, Greg Elliott is going to miss it. After running so well, Greg Elliott misses pit road. We got a ton of cars on pit road now. Here comes Nathaniel, Mazzella, Wyatt, Eric Shields, Nipris. Tons of cars on pit road now. Casey Brown is going to be your leader. So an extra point for him for leading the lap, which is good for those playoff drivers. Looks like he's coming to pit road this time. So Kyle stays, Matt stays, Glenn to pit road as well. Oh, Mikey Adams misses it, but able to keep it going. A little bit slow. Hopefully not too slow to cause a yellow. He doesn't. Great save there by Mikey. So pit road problems. Everybody seeming to struggle getting to pit road here. And we're only 25 laps in. So does Matt have anything for Kevin or for Kyle here? Wyatt behind him, not for position, but on new tires. Wyatt's going to get right to the back bumper of Matt. Maybe try to help him. He's going to turn left. Try to go underneath. Wyatt doesn't want to mess up this battle, especially with them being in the playoffs, but they're not able to come down pit road. They both commit to the top side. Matt's going to try to turn underneath Kyle. Doesn't have it there. Kind of got messed up by Wyatt, which helped his TTSL teammate. There goes Matt to the bottom of the racetrack now. When he comes up the racetrack, though, is he going to be clear? He's got to leave a lane. He's going to be clear into the corner. So move Matt Frady to the lead on lap 28, middle of pit cycle. Matt goes to lead. Kyle really running that outside line. He is one of the best at it. It just doesn't seem to have the speed. Same thing with Swords right now. The wall. You can run the outside. It's just the wall is not fast right now. Might see it later as we get more rubber on the racetrack. There's Randy Arms. First one a lap down. Here's Nathaniel. One of the first few to pit road. So already seeing the tire come into play. And we'll see how long these drivers stay out. I don't think that they're going to be able to stay out much longer. Randy Arms just went from, track position-wise, was about 5th or 6th that lap and is driven by Kyle, who's running second. So he's gained probably a second or two in one lap. He's going to go right around the outside of Matt Frady and unlap himself. Here comes Nathaniel now, battling side by side with Swartz. Right now, it really doesn't matter if a caution comes out. It does help the drivers who have stayed out because, you know, the wave rounds and all that, but they're going to have to come to pit road no matter what, which will unlap the drivers who have pitted because they will stay out, but it'll only put the drivers with older tires, if the caution does come out, behind. We're 10 laps to go till the possible stage. We'll see if Matt comes to pit road. It looks like he is this time. So Matt comes to pit road. Kyle's going to stay out. We'll see if he's going to have a good stop or not. Able to slow her down perfectly. Let's ride on board with Matt here through the pit stop. So we know where he came out. He was just behind Randy Arms. Just got passed by Randy Arms. And you can see the ticker on the left-hand side. 29 seconds. 28 now. Matt comes to the box, doesn't slide him. Randy's 22 seconds back. That is coming out quickly. And Randy is going to clear Matt on the front straightaway there. So Randy back to what should be track position-wise the lead. if it stays green, but we got a battle for the lead once again. It's Chris Walker and Swartz. Here comes Murphy to the inside. Gonna blow by both of them on the new tires. Casey Brown to the outside. So this is a risky strategy from Swartz, but we've seen it multiple times from him last season and this year. One of the more out there with the strategy calls. Most of the time it does work out for him, which is crazy to say, but he is doing a great job. Staying out there, led a lap, so should get the point for that. Or he could have enough fuel to make it. Maybe that's what we saw from him. Was able to clutch it, ran the outside line, didn't use a lot of throttle. Maybe he's just trying to bank on running 40, maybe 45 laps if he's able to make it to that stage. Maybe that's the play here from Swartz and Chris as well. Just behind them, though, here's Michael. Ooh, he gets in the outside wall as soon as I talk about him. Following Kevin Ritchie into the corner. So playoff driver inside the top 5. This would be a big point swing for Michael if he's able to finish 5th or even inside the top 10 and beat Randy Arms. Landwehr, as we see, that's at least Swartz to pit road. He does. So Swartz finally commits to pit road. And here comes Matt a lap down. Same thing with Kyle Ritchie. Nippers is in this battle as well, just in front. They're all fighting for the lucky dog. 3 drivers in this pack are on the lead lap. 3 drivers are a lap down, trying to get to the leaders to unlap themselves. Matt's able to squeak through pretty quickly. So Nippers there, Walker to pit road that time, and a whole bunch of other cars who haven't come down pit road. So Kevin out on the racetrack still. Michael still out on the racetrack. So a lot of cars kind of risking it. New leader. And the Jack Snacks. Trevor, 4K iRacing. First race with us as well. Good to have a lot of cars here for these playoffs, especially to kind of mix a few things up. But Trevor to the lead here. I haven't talked about him tonight yet. He could have enough fuel to try to make it. Kevin to pit road, so he's the last car on the lead lap. Let's see if he's clutching it, actually. He might be. He's got Nathaniel by a few seconds. He might be able to here. If he's clutching it. Doesn't seem to be clutching. But if he is saving fuel, Randy Arms and Nathaniel are off of 2. So 39, if he can run 2 or 3 more laps and gets lucky with the caution coming out early, that could be big for him. That would be best tires, best track position, everything that you could ask for here. Then that puts a lot of the playoff drivers who are second to, 10th really. Do they pit? Try to come back down to get new tires? And as I say that, nope, Trevor's going to come down pit road. The call was close. I thought there was an opportunity maybe for somebody to stay out and make it. That should move Nathaniel back to the lead. Not by a lot, though. Arms still 0.3 of a second behind him. Lap 40. So from here to 50, at any moment, the stage could be thrown. Randy's trying to run the bottom. Let's get in with the team chat and hear what the Radioactive with Ain't Lifting Motorsports.
Left on you.
No, you're good, you're good.
That was the first time I went up there to see if it was any good. It just fucking didn't turn on entry. It just went straight to it.
Cool little inside there. I believe that was Murphy saying how he went to the outside and it just didn't work for him. So a little radioactive there from the drivers. You could hear the intensity with the language, so don't matter. It's on YouTube. But Randy still 3 to 4 tenths, just isn't able to close in a little bit more. Just needs that little bit more every lap and just doesn't seem to have it. They're coming up on a few lap cars, so Lilith Peters, though, is in the wall. Mazzella's going to go underneath. So Lilith gets in the outside wall, really running that outside line, but just hasn't got it figured out. Made a few mistakes, got in the outside wall. She's going to go back to the bottom now. Casey Brown, big points for Casey Brown if he's able to do it and finish here. Let's bring up the points once again. So Randy leading it. Nathaniel, you know, they're all pretty safe in this stage, but Casey Brown tied the first one, who's at base 1,000 points. Could be a big swing for that if he's able to beat, you know, Swartz and Brandon. Caution comes out, though, for the stage as we're talking about the point situation. So Nathaniel wins the stage. Randy in second, Mazzella third, Peters fourth, Brown fifth, Murphy sixth, Niparis. He is not in the playoffs, though. So that would have been big if he was able to. But look at Brandon. The guy I said would benefit a ton from those playoff or the stage points. Finishes top 10. He's going to get those bonus points for the stage. He's going to jump drivers like Matt Frady, Kyle Ritchie, Swartz, Michael Cochrane. So Brandon there did a great job in that stage to get a few points in that flamey 44. So perfect way to start the playoffs. A green flag run. Nathaniel and Randy battling for the stage the whole time. As they're coming to pit road right now, also, if anybody knows how to update points live, that would be great. I doubt that there's a thing in IRacing to do it, but I would love to have it, which would be kind of cool to show for everybody. But pit stops. Everybody coming down pit road now. We'll see what these drivers are talking about and thinking. Gonna chat in here with Nathaniel when he does stop in the box. We'll drag him here in the booth. Try to key up his radio. Nathaniel, do you got a copy?
I got you.
Well, come away with a stage win. A good start to your playoffs in this one. You had to hold off Randy, though. He was pretty close and kept you under pressure that whole time. You just took right side tires, I think?
Nah, I took 4 on her.
Okay, so you did take, so everybody took 4. So, a few drivers took 2. Oh, this is going to be interesting. All right, well, you come away with the stage win. Tell us what you learned in that first little bit of the race and what is going to be different, you think, for the second half.
Oh, man, I think we're going to be saving a little bit more tire. You know, we were only really trying to push maybe 25 laps out of it there at the start, and now we're trying to run out the tank. So what is that, 35 to 38? So I think we'll be going a little more moderate pace here, but I learned that the traffic is brutal on fresh tires. The speed difference is huge, so if you can read that well, coming up on the slower cars, you'll be good.
It looked like about 2 seconds of fall off at least, as we saw there. But you're coming to the choose, I think, right?
Yep.
So choose, you're going to go to the bottom. All right, you're going to go to the bottom. What's the play here? You have Lilith, and Lilith, I think, took 2 tires, actually, which I'm going to go back and verify just to make sure for my sanity. So took 2. Yes, just took 2 tires. So what do you think now as you pick the inside behind her?
Well, I wasn't thinking that far ahead, but I think I'm gonna try to give her a good old shove down there into 1 and try to put it 3 bottom out of 2 and see how she rolls. See how she rolls there.
Yeah, it's we're gonna be watching, so good luck, and hopefully be talking to you here in a little bit.
All right, appreciate it.
There's Nate there, getting the word in. But Lilith Peters takes 2, different strategy than I would expect. Especially as, I mean, she was one of the later ones to pit road. So the left side shouldn't be worn too much, but going to gain a little bit of track position. So we'll see how this works out. How good of a push is Nathaniel able to give her as we're coming back for the restart. ran green until the stage, but we're ready to get back going for the second half of this one. Lilith Peters and Randy Arms, we're back green. Lilith able to get a pretty good jump there. We'll see how big the tires are. Going to slow up Nathaniel maybe just a little bit. Looks like the tires are going to be big. We're 3 wide for the lead. Randy sideways. Hurt his momentum. Nathaniel's going to have a really shallow line, though. Is this going to be a good run for Randy around the outside line? Let's watch. He's going to be a little bit loose, but isn't going to be a big run from him. So we got a mess to the back of the field here. A lot of drivers side by side making moves. But here comes Glenn Murphy in that Lowe's 48. That's Casey Brown on the wall. Hard into the outside wall. Gonna lose a ton of spots here. Is that gonna hurt that car too much? Let's try to see. Is Brandon's gonna get up into him almost there? Almost fed him a right rear. Kevin's gonna try to go by him as well. Let's try to get a look at that right front from Casey Brown. Inside, it doesn't look too hurt actually. Now let's go to Kevin. It's got a little bit of a ding in, but shouldn't hurt him too bad. But definitely going to be damaged, and he's dropping to the field already. So, could be playoff implications already here at the start of the second half of the race. That's Strader on the outside, working the back bumper of Matt Frady. Should have a little bit of a run. Does he look to the bottom? Doesn't look like it. We got another challenge for the lead. 3 cars underneath the blanket. So Nathaniel, last year's most dominant car. Struggled a little bit this year with a few mechanical problems. Randy Arms, the points leader and regular season champion. Or missed it by 2 points, I think, over Kyle. Kyle ended up getting it, but was leading the playoffs since he had tied for the most wins. And Glenn Murphy, the 7K rookie, I guess you could say. 7K rookie. Hasn't raced in a while, but is friends with Randy Arms. Is in chat with him. So 3 really, really fast guys going for it at the start of the second half here at Kansas. A little bit further back, Nippris around the outside line. He's really going for it on the outside of Kyle there. Here's Lilith, though. Lilith is really been committed to that top side, but the 2-tire strategy was not the right call. Really struggling there with those right side tires. See Brandon go by. This could be big. 2 playoff drivers just went by between Brandon and Kevin there. Kevin should be able to clear this time, but see Lilith really working the wheel as there's a challenge for the lead now. Randy to the inside. We talked to Nathaniel as he was coming off pit road. We heard him say he was going to try to save a little bit more than what they did earlier in the race. So we could be seeing him just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to give up that spot. We got a long ways to go. We have 6, 7 laps to go, so a long ways to go. Sorry, I had to do it. Didn't realize that. Yeah, Nathaniel's starting to drop back just a little bit. Let's try to see if he's doing anything different with that wheel or if he's just being pretty content running there. Loses a little bit of time slowly, more and more. But I think that's what he's trying to do to save those tires. He's going to enter a little bit shallower, get off the gas, roll back into it, not slip it. I think that's what we're seeing here out of Nathaniel, one of the best in the league, especially at saving those tires. Here's Michael, though, battling with Landon Quisenberry, 2 playoff drivers. And 2 guys that I want to start a challenge with between Wyatt Garrett and Mikey Adams every race for the last round of the playoffs, because it's Talladega, Martinsville, and Phoenix, I might do an individual points thing. Maybe somebody can sponsor it, but do a tournament style, but for Mikey and Wyatt, to where the best driver or the best finish in both of them, whoever beats each other, it's perfect because they're running next to each other to talk about it. But so it's one-on-one pretty much for the last 3 races of the year. Talladega would be fun to see, Martinsville, and then Phoenix. So maybe somebody could sponsor $20 to the winner of it and have a Mikey versus Wyatt tournament there at the end. Let me know what you guys think about it. I think that'd be kind of funny. Pretty fun and cool to see them two go at it. One of the 2 funniest and best personalities in the league. Mikey's working on the inside of Michael, getting a little bit tight though. Then just up in front, Strader, and then this mess between 2 playoff drivers and Niparis, who's running that outside line but just doesn't have the speed anymore. Possibly burned him up just a little bit. Brandon really giving him a lot of room and trying to be smart to save. Save the car, don't burn it up. Kevin might have a different strategy of going 3 wide. Looks like he thought about it, but he's going to push Brandon. Brandon should be clear entering the corner. And he does. Will Kevin be clear in the center? He will. Now he's going to go after the 44 of Brandon Shimmerhorn. Shimmershine. Oh. Wyatt Garrett way down the racetrack. I don't know what that's all about. What happened there? Oh, we got in the outside wall. Wyatt on exit. Got into it. Big save for him. But he's going to get swallowed up by Randy Sample and Swartz. Randy Sample struggled in qualifying, or didn't qualify. And then Swartz, which I don't know what strategy he's playing. This could be multiple strategies. There's Cade Ferguson. Unfortunately, 3 laps down. Something happened to him. But as I was saying about Swartz, could just be saving a lot of tire. A lot of tire or fuel to try to make this thing a one-stop. We've seen him always do those unique strategies like I mentioned earlier. And that could be what he's doing again. Peters has dropped back to 13th though. Really hoping for a yellow if you're in her situation, I think. Getting passed by Mikey Adams there on the inside. So Lilith really struggling on those 2 tires. It is not the call. Got the track position, but wasn't even able to hold it for a corner. And all these drivers and these other crew chiefs are going to put that in their notebook for later in the race. Might work for green, white, checkered, but other than that, doesn't seem to be worth it. Go back up to the front of the field. Nathaniel starting to work over Glenn Murphy now. Let's see what he's got. If he just made a mistake there, talking about Glenn, or Nathaniel had a good corner, or what. Seemed like it spread it back out. There's Kyle starting to pull away from Brandon there. Then there's a 3-wide mess back here between Strader, Niparis, and Quisenberry. They're in the middle. Quisenberry going to go up the racetrack. Should be clear. Might have to leave a lane. He doesn't. So Quisenberry into the top 10. We have an update on pit road, unfortunately. The 38, Greg Elliott, had problems getting to pit road with the pedal. So, pedal problems, went a little bit long. Don't use a lot of brake here, so just a, I guess, bad day at the shop. And I just had a problem with the pedal. It disconnected. So, unfortunate there for Greg after a great first, 20, 30 laps. Was running inside the top 10. Showed a lot of speed. So, unfortunate there for Greg. But back up to Matt. He gets around Mazzella here. And Matt starting to push. We'll see how fast he is late in this run. he's starting to reel in the top 3. Mikey Adams has caught the mess of, I've been calling it a mess, but it's just a lot of cars under a blanket racing each other. Here comes Swartz into it now, so this could be a big battle now. So, Quisenberry, Cochrane, Nippris, Adams, Swartz, Sample, Peters, all on the screen here. And this is, you know, one of the moments we normally talk to Mikey, but he's in a battle, so I'm not going to mess with him right now. He's competing for a top 10 finish, which would be one of his best of the season. But here comes Swartz. So we've seen him drop back, and now Swartz is starting to come through the field and work his way back through. Little thin the wall there. Little touch. Mikey's going to go outside. Randy and Jonathan are side by side. Gonna try to split these drivers as they're making moves to get by. Mikey gonna go to the bottom, which helps Swartz, but they're still side by side here for 13th, trying to make their way through traffic. But we'll bring it back up for the points. A lot of playoff drivers in this little group. Quisenberry in front. Michael there in this battle. Swartz. Peters a little bit further back. So there's 3 or 4 playoff drivers all in this little group, all fighting for it. And if you're able to beat, right now with all the points being so even, if you could beat the other driver by 1 or 2 spots, that'll help you going into next week quite a bit. Since it's even right now, you want to try to do the best you can and beat everybody right now instead of trying to claw your way back later in this round. But Michael doing a great job on the outside. Holding off Swartz, Sample. 2 guys who have had a lot of speed this year. But he's running the outside wall. Swartz is going to have a nose. Here comes the run from Michael. But it doesn't look like it. So as they go down the front straightaway. And who just walked through the door? The guy who I fired earlier pre-race. Alex, how's it going, my friend?
Good morning.
Yeah, baseball game get boring like it always is, and you decided to come watch some real sports?
Yeah, no, my team lost, and I needed to bring out all my frustration, and I didn't want you to have all the fun, so here we are.
Well, good. We're glad that you're here to join us, and your team lost, and everything's going bad for sports and baseball right now. Anyway, to the good sports, racing. Quisenberry on pit road, one of the first to bite. We saw how well tires meant, or how much tires meant after that first stage. It's been a crazy one here, Alex, early.
Yeah, I can imagine. I was kind of watching along while I was watching the game, and honestly, it's not surprising what I've seen so far. Kansas, multi-groove track. I saw it yesterday firsthand, driving it myself. Very tricky track, like you mentioned, Cabe. Tires, very important here. So not surprising to see some guys pit now to take the fresh tires. And gonna want to use them strategically because you don't want to burn them up too quick, as you'll see, just like Jonathan Swartz there. You'll run up the track and you will hit that outside wall, especially on the exit of turn 2.
Yeah, Swartz was kind of playing a strategy game right there. Seemed him and Sample start at the back, was either trying to save a lot of fuel or a lot of tire, but now slowly working their way back through the field. As Samples moved himself inside the top 10. Mikey Adams, though, running P13.
Solid night for him tonight.
Yeah, I was going to, I considered talking to him, and then he was in a battle in a big group of cars, and it's kind of gotten spread out. Maybe wait a few laps to talk to him. I know he's having a good career night running-wise. As Randy Arms is the pit road, Glenn Murphy's going to follow him. So 2 of these drivers to pit road. Let's ride on board here with Glenn as he goes down pit road following Randy. How good of a stop does he have, and is he able to gain on Randy? The 2 leaders. Right sides go up. I'm expecting a lot of tires here. One person who didn't take him was on 2 is Lilith Peters, who was a lap down. I don't know if she pit or not already. I think she has. Yep, she definitely has. Which, I expected her to come down pit road pretty early because of those 2 tires. Definitely did not work out for them. Her, that whole crew, really looking for a good points day. So Nathaniel, Matt, Mazzella, Kyle, Kevin, your top 5. Who's going to be next to bite on pit road? We see Brandon on pit road after having a career day as well. Brandon doing a great job running inside the top 10 all night. Made the playoffs, and that car looks to have a lot of speed tonight. So there's Glenn Murphy right there. Randy gained a little bit of time maybe as he's trying to navigate the traffic. Swartz and Adams are racing for a top 10 spot. So Swartz is fully committed. I'm really wondering, we might send Bob down there to see what their play is. Because he seemed to have a lot of speed back off and have a lot of speed again. Now we're seeing him back off once again. So this could be, ooh, it's going to be tight between Michael and Lilith and everybody. Lilith in the outside wall. Swartz is in the wall.
Yeah, gonna be tricky for a lot of these drivers to navigate. Some on new tires, some still on older tires. So you're gonna see the huge differential here. As you can see, Jonathan Swartz just getting eaten up right now by a multitude of cars, left, right, and center. So, like I mentioned before, tires gonna be super important, and you'll see the differential. But if you can manage to stay out a little bit longer than the rest of the field and have the better tires towards the end of the run, it may come to your advantage. So long as you don't drop too far back while trying to save tire. We'll see how it works out, especially for Jonathan Swartz here.
Yeah, we'll see how it does because it's a different play, and nobody else is playing it. Maybe Sample was for a little bit, then decided to try to run as hard as he can for the rest of it. But with 40 laps coming back to 41 to go, how long does Jonathan wait? How long of a fuel run do these guys have? We heard earlier it's about a 35 to 40, so he might just be waiting, which it seems like half the field is. See Matt Frady, Nathaniel stay out. Kyle's reeled in Jonathan Mazzella in that 41. Riding on board here with Kyle. More likely going to the other top, and he does. I just want to ride on board here with Kyle. Just to watch him run this outside wall is one of the most satisfying things that you could watch. It's in iRacing, it is one of the hardest things to do is run the wall, and it does not. I mean, I think iRacing is hard as Randy just blows by. Running the wall is harder in iRacing than it is in real life. Multiple drivers that I've talked to have said that. And it is definitely an art to it. It's hard to do because it doesn't really work as well as it does in real life, but Kyle's one of the best to do it, and it's so satisfying to watch.
Yeah, every time you nail it, it's one of the most satisfying feelings, both just in racing in general, whether you are doing it in real life or iRacing. Always nice to just be just a couple of inches off the wall and able to take it the whole way around. As we see the 76 of Kyle Ritchie come down pit lane, try not to speed and keep his speed, I believe, under 45 miles an hour.
Well,
As he will more than likely be taking a full set of tires with 39 to go.
yeah, one guy who unfortunately is on pit road. You see him there in that black car. Wyatt Garrett, my friend, we talked about
Hello,
it
beautiful
earlier.
people.
How's it going, my friend? What happened?
I died.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Actually, the car was probably okay. I could have kept going, but I didn't want to.
So we have a quitter here in the booth. Wyatt, able to join us the rest of the night. Wasn't sure if Alex was going to make it, so I guess we're going to have 3 people in the booth tonight for the last 40 laps.
Is he grumpy because the Yankees lost? Alex?
Never. I would never be such grumpy.
I mean, you're a fake Yankees fan anyways. It's all right.
Anyway, back to, the real sports. Wyatt, what did you see and what did you learn there in those first like 80 laps of the race that you were able to compete in? How's that car drive? And what have you seen from all those? Oh, Kevin sideways.
Well, for me, it was really loose, and then it got really tight all of a sudden because I burned my tires up.
How easy is it to burn the tires with these older Xfinity cars? They're real stock cars, not glued to the ground, 85-inch tires, and hard as a rock. You actually have to drive these things. So how easy is it to burn up those tires?
When you don't know how to save them, pretty easy. I'm pretty sure I burnt them up in like 10, 15 laps.
Yeah, it's
So
they're one of the softer compounds, and this is one of the racetracks that is it's weird to say it was not recently, but it was paved more recently than a lot of tracks, and it has a ton of tire wear, which is awesome to see from a mile and a half. But right now Swartz takes the lead. He stays out. He hasn't pitted since the stage. He stays out. Sample just now pitted. We'll see how long Swartz stays out on the racetrack though. Never mind. He comes to pit road. A little bit loose in there. He's going to drive her deep to the line. Good pit stop for him, though. As it looks like Arms is still lead. What happened to Nathaniel? Big problems for Nathaniel. 6 seconds back? So 6 seconds. Looks like he gained 5/10 there. Maybe a 2 tires call from Randy Murphy, maybe Peters. I'm not sure actually.
Alex.
So we sent Bob down there to pit road. He'll get the report back to Alex and see what happened there from Nathaniel. As Randy Arms is the leader, Glenn Murphy in second, Lilith Peters with a great comeback, 7 seconds back from the top 2. But after running, getting almost lapped and taking the 2-strider strategy, was able to do it. And we're hearing the report back from Bob on pit road. Alex?
Yeah, so got word from some of these drivers that they just decided to pit really early. So sounds like they were able to use their tires quite early compared to the rest of the field behind them. So we'll see if it works to their advantage. I don't think it'll work later in the runs for them, as it depends on how hard they use their tires. But you could probably expect to see the guys who pit later to start catching up later in the run.
Well, we see Randy and Glenn are entering one right now. Then we have Peters, who's 7 seconds back. She's at the line now. So then a little bit further back, being caught, is Nathaniel, is catching Lilith, but is still 8 seconds back or so from the top 2. In 30 laps, is Nathaniel going to be able to gain 8 seconds on him?
Well, that's going to be the big question here. I know you mentioned before that the fuel run is only about 35 laps, so who knows? These guys are eventually going to have to pit again for fuel unless they pull some massive fuel, like almost Jared Lindsay, or who was another person that saved an insane amount of fuel? I think it might have been Randy, but to pull off a quite heavy amount of fuel saving to make it to the end of the race would be really difficult. So we may, or more than likely, we'll see most of the field have to do a little splash and dash, or may even just split the rest of this race. So we'll see how it works out, especially for the guys, like I said, who pit a lot earlier than the rest of the field.
Yeah. Why?
Landwehr made the pass on Peters.
Yeah, Nathaniel able to get to third. So we're seeing that gap on the left side of your screen in the green box. Nathaniel. It's going to be 7 seconds by the exit of this corner on Murphy. But then he has another second on Randy. He's gaining a lot of time. I don't know if he's going to be... he's going to have time, I think. There's a lot of time left and still a chance to be yellow. But Wyatt, how much tire wear was there? I think it was about 2 seconds, right? From new tires to old tires?
It was a lot of... Yeah, it was really bad.
So a lot of tire wear, 2 seconds of fall off, especially at the end of it. He's already 6.5, so he's gained half a second from when we jumped off of him. Mazzella and Freddie is going to go around Peters. So we saw Peters there come down pit road pretty early. Kind of on the same strategy as Randy and Murphy, but going to not work out here with the less track position that she had. So we see Matt working the back bumper. Mazzella, Wyatt, you did a lot of passing tonight. Talk us through how he's going to set up this pass.
I did not
With
do a
all
lot of passing, but
with your racing experience.
yeah, I don't know. I couldn't pass.
Well,
Only time I could pass was when I was on fresh tires.
well,
but
if you were
the
on new
inside-
tires, how to set it up? Okay, the inside.
Yeah, the inside, and then take it down to the apron, all the way to the grass
Ooh.
here, and I'd hope to clear into one.
Hope to clear into one, he says. Oh, Murphy, what the? Okay, he's parked on pit road very uniquely, but he's on pit road. Same thing with Randy. So a second stop in the final stage. What do you think about that call there, Alex?
I'm not surprised to see it at all. Like I mentioned before, I know these guys weren't going to be able to make it super far on the fuel, and given the fact that they pit so early, they were going to experience a lot more tire fall-off than the rest of the field as we go later on. So, not surprising to see this call with only 26 to go. We know they'll be able to make it on fuel. Tires are going to be the big question, though, because the rest of the field, when they pit, they're going to have fresher tires again. So, we'll see how this advantage plays out for them and whether or not pitting when those two pit is going to be worth it for them.
Yeah, they're going to be a lap down, but in 25 laps, I don't see that comeback happening. We see Murphy here, and we see Randy. I don't know. We'll watch the ticker and see how much it goes down. If Wyatt, you want to give us some lap times there from the tablet right in front of you, and see when Randy passes Nathaniel, how much quicker is he? He's gonna have to be. I mean, it's a 30-second lap. He's gonna need to be a second and a half quicker probably to catch by the end of the race. He's gonna unlap himself though. At the line, I think he got it. So Randy should be clear. Nathaniel's going to be behind him. Let's see what this lap time is. Randy pulls away big. I just don't see that working out from the points leader. As I bring up points once again. So Randy is a lap down in 16ths. Would not be a good points day for him. Would be very bad for him. But a driver who's... been in the field. Brandon, inside the top 8. Good points day for him. Was the last driver to make it. Good day for him if it was able to end like this for him.
Yeah, Brandon Summersham able to piece together some quietly decent results, and we saw it towards the last couple races of the regular season, and I kept seeing his name pop up every now and then, just slowly working his way through the top 10, just finishing well, and that's what allowed him to be the last guy to just sneak in into the playoffs here.
Yeah, he's done a great job tonight, especially with that stage, and was able to get the win, or was able to finish inside the points and gain him a few, so that should help him, or a few driver. But here comes Swartz. I don't know, to be honest. He's still on that weird strategy. I don't know if he's on old tires or if I don't think he's pitted yet, but he's getting passed by Quisenberry around his outside at the moment.
Yeah, like you mentioned before, very interesting strategies going on. I shouldn't say super surprising to see, with Kansas being such an interesting track with tire wear, and even, I wouldn't say as much fuel, but mostly tire wear. Not super surprising to see some guys try to put together some interesting strategies to put their ways towards the front.
Yeah, there's a lot of different strategies going on. It's kind of hard to keep track of. Two that are on the same strategy and, well, same family, the Ritchie brothers. Kyle and Kevin, Alex, your roommates. Have you heard anybody yell yet from the other room that something bad happened?
No, the only thing I've heard yell from Kyle's room was that the Yankees lost, and that's about all the yelling that I've heard tonight, and it was very excited yells at that. So nothing in relation to the race, so it sounds like he's having himself a good night.
I also heard these yells. So
Wyatt, you live with them too?
no, I was in the room with. I was in the Discord call with Kyle.
Oh, true. Oh, good point. Well, we'll see if we can send Bob over to Kyle and get his thoughts here. He's 2 seconds back on Mazzella, but maybe get an interview in with both
Just
of the
drag him
Butcher
up here.
brothers. Yeah, no, let's get. No, if we're gonna drag somebody, I know the guy that we're gonna drag. Let's
Don't
get,
drag Mikey.
let's get this in here. Alex, you ask the first one. I'll ask the next.
All right, Mikey Adams, welcome to the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, but I can barely hear you. I tried to tell you that earlier.
Oh, good lord. All right. Well, that's unfortunate. It sucks to be you. I'm going to try to speak as loud as I can for you. We see you running almost in the top 10 tonight, having yourself a decent night. How'd you put yourself in such a good position tonight?
How did I get myself in this position?
Yes.
Because I'm Mikey the fucking milkman, brother. I mean, what else is there to be said? We wreckers or checkers around here, baby. That's all we are. But I'm not going to spoil it, but no pun intended. We're going to have to pit.
Oh, well, that's disappointing. We've seen a few drivers come to pit road, like Randy and Murphy already did. But Mikey, now that I have you and White in the booth, the last 3 races of the playoffs, what do you guys think about a little tournament between you two? And maybe somebody sponsor it, and we'll see how much money we can put into a pot, and whoever beats each other. Do 1 point, whoever beats each other each race, and then maybe if you're tied going into Phoenix, you guys will put
What's
on
the
a
last
show.
2 races? What's the last 2 races?
Talladega, Martinsville, and Phoenix.
I'm down.
Oh, okay, yeah, let's do it.
All right, we heard the handshake there. It's a Bluetooth handshake there from Mikey and Wyatt, but
I don't
Mikey.
want to touch him. He's the enemy.
Well, back to the race, Mikey. You've shown a lot of speed actually tonight. A career day for you. What is fitting Kansas your driving style so well? Why does it fit your driving style so well?
In all honesty, it just feels smooth to me. I don't know. It was like Iowa. It's just hard to explain, but I just feel better here in Iowa. Like I don't know what's happened this year. We're just getting after it, I guess. But it feels real good. Learning how to save tire. That's been doing well for me. And it's just rhythm, brother. Really, that's all it is. Just rhythm.
Definitely. And one last thing before you go, I want to show this. The cow on the front. Damn it! Thing went away. No, God.
Yep, this is good.
It just died. Hold on. Your car has a cow on the front end, and the udders is the Toyota logo. Just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, that's badass, isn't it?
Yes, you
We've
are
got
Mikey
the
the milk
strawberry
man.
milk car for the cancer awareness.
Yep.
In
We
October.
do. Yes,
Another
yes.
little-
Shout out all the survivors out there. Shout out. Had to rep.
Who else do you have to shout out? Because we were
Oh, shout out Pop. Shout out Granny. Always Pop and Granny.
and the paint scheme that you wanted.
Oh
me
yeah,
to
Landon.
shout out.
Landon. I'm sorry, my fault, Landon. There's your tax, Landon. Love you, buddy. Thank you.
And he didn't
Shout out
wreck it
Landon.
this time.
He hasn't wrecked it yet.
Landon
With
didn't wreck it this
13
time.
laps to go. So Mikey, we're gonna let you get back after it. Good luck.
Thank you.
We should 100% try to drag him back down on pit road. Was he in what track? He was in there. Okay. Anyway, back to it here. There is still a race going on, not just Mikey. McElroy here, 16th. Here's Mazzella in 3rd. So a good day for Mazzella. Matt, if he's able to make it, he's actually possibly reeling in Nathaniel with 12 laps to go. I don't know what lap times are, but right now, Matt Frady is he's gained a second in the last few laps. He gained a little bit there, was down to a second in the center corner, lost a little bit there. Let's see if he goes to the top or he's really liking that bottom lane. We heard it there from Mikey. He liked the bottom lane. Well,
Matt Frady.
yeah.
Matt Frady is a heck of a race car driver. He's always up front. Alex, anything to add?
I'm not gonna disagree with you. I mean, he's definitely starting to chase him down a little bit. Looking at the lap times, he's been about a tenth and a half, 2 tenths quicker a lap, but it also evens out every now and then. Only a second and about a tenth. We'll see when they cross the line here what the gap is. When these two cross, the gap's gonna be. Ooh, it's dropped another tenth of a second, almost down to 1 second flat. So Matt Frady is chasing down. We only have 9 laps to go in the race. Can he continue the pace that he has with those? I believe he's got slightly fresher tires than Nathaniel Landwehr. I do not think fuel's going to be such a concern at the moment. It doesn't sound like it with so little laps left remaining. But Matt Frady
car of
chasing
Eric.
down the 66.
Lap car of Eric Shields may play into this a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see if he's gonna try to fight a little bit to keep his lead lap position, or if he's gonna just get out the way and let these two front runners battle out.
Yeah, Matt's...
But Frady is gaining quite a bit on him. So
He's within a second. It's kind of stagnant now.
Yeah, he's dropped back a tenth that last lap.
But with Eric Shields right in front, it
I
kind of
think
hurts
he's gonna,
Nathaniel with that dirty air.
because then he's got the 72 up there too, so he's gonna have some lap traffic in his
Yeah.
way.
It's still going to be the way. Eric Shields doing a great job, I guess, to not go a lap down, but in case there is a yellow with 7 laps to go, but also slowing up Nathaniel just a little bit for Matt. It's kind of stayed the same, but he's slowly catching now within a second.
Yeah, Nathaniel.
Oh, they're gonna catch that 72 car, and it's gonna be even better. It's gonna give Matt Frady even more time.
The saying for the longest was fantastic Atlanta finishes. We might start having some fantastic Kansas finishes with...
Oh, goodness,
the
they're
72.
3
That's
wide.
a Wallace Flanagan.
He made quick work
Yeah,
of the 72 car.
It was able to help Matt by 2/10 of a second. Able to claw.
27 car is gonna fight back on the out. Never mind.
Yeah, a little off. Back to some things that we saw was interesting. Randy came to pit road. Not a good day for him if it goes green these last 5 laps. Was running good. Got the good stage points, but that's going to be big for him in the points. A good day for the guy running P4.
Kevin
Got
Ritchie.
around his brother, Kevin Ritchie. The better of the Richies at the moment. Running P4, good points day for him, which will put him over the other drivers. Like, he might need that buffer over, like Quisenberry in 17th. Casey Brown, not a good night for him in 8th. Peters was in 19th. Swartz is in 9th. Brandon 20th after his problems. Also, playoff driver Michael doing a good job here. In top 10. So some underdogs actually doing a great job tonight. And it's going to be good for that last cutoff race with the point situation that we're in right now. This is, it's gotten interesting.
Can Mikey catch Cochran for P10 with 3 laps to go?
That is the next battle. Can Mikey battle his way for a top 10? Mikey did it at Darlington when there was a chaos on the front straightaway. He was able to sneak through for a top 10. Well, with 3 laps to go, we'll see if he's able to catch the 42 and take another point away. But Matt is reeled in. Nathaniel 0.6 of a second, waiting for Eric Shields to figure out where he's going to go. So Matt's going to go to the bottom. 0.5 of a second now with 2 laps to go. 4.5. Going to go back up to 5. Can Eric push Matt? Does it help him at all? What do you do if you're in Matt's situation here, Alex?
If I'm him, I take the corner as deep as possible. You can see it already right here. Just take as much corner as you can and just dive it on the inside and try to get a run on the front stretch. Hope not to run up into the wall. Gonna try to use this draft a little bit to gain just a tiny bit going into one as we take the white flag. Next flag makes the race official. Matt Frady gonna try to take the bottom and scoop up as much time as he can, but Nathaniel Landwehr seemingly having just enough to stay in front of him off the exit of 2.
Matt reeled in the last 20 laps. Got it down within half a second. Nathaniel's going to go to the outside. Does Matt go to the bottom? He doesn't look like to have a big enough run. First race of the playoffs goes to Nathaniel Landwehr at Kansas. Nathaniel gets the win. Matt comes home second after reeling him in. Maybe if it was 125 laps, Matt maybe would have gotten there. Mazzella, P3. Kevin Ritchie over his brother, Kyle Ritchie. Strader comes home in 6th. Sample, 7th. Trevor in 8th. Swartz, 9th. Cochran in 10th. Randy Arms comes home 11th. So not as bad as what I thought, but still not a good points day for him. As we're looking at the results now. Nathaniel, Matt, Jonathan, Kevin, Kyle, Christian, Randy, Trevor. Then we go back outside the top 10. Randy, Jake, Glenn, Mikey, Eric, Michael, Landon, Lilith, Casey, and Brandon. A few of the non-finishers there. Robert King had a bad night. Cage struggled there. Jeremy got in the wall, we saw. Chris, after his problems. Randy wants to commit suicide at this moment. There is boobs on that.
Do I want to know?
Um,
I'm gonna take it as a no. I looked away for just
Nathaniel,
literally half
good to
a
have you
second.
in the booth. I saw some scary things on pit road, but you get the win. Tell us, good points day for you. You should be the points leader leaving tonight. Get the stage win and the race win. Talk to us about it.
Well, when I saw that Freddie had that extra lap of fuel in the tank there to go on the green flag stops, I thought I was a little bit screwed and thought he'd have the long run pace to beat me out, but just kind of managed to get a few good breaks with lap traffic. Managed to just manage the tires real well and save enough fuel to be able to defend it there at the end and have enough pace at the end to run out as I'm trying to do the burnout.
Yeah, I was wondering how much fuel was going to be a factor in that last run of the race. We saw Randy and Glenn come to pit road, but what were you thinking? Like, was it really that close on fuel, or did you think that there was no way that they were going to make it, or what was kind of the anxiety level there with them getting around you? You know, after the stage, we talked to you about saving a little bit of tire, but I wasn't sure how much fuel you need to save as well at the end.
Yeah, I didn't cross my mind until I started looking at the numbers about as soon as I got to the lead there and realized, man, I need to save a little bit of fuel. So running up in the front, not getting any of the draft, I had to clutch it a little bit. And once I let by Randy and Glenn, it kind of just all fell into place. Clutched a little more. I like to use the throttle pedal, so I ain't the best at saving gas. But we did what we needed to do and got enough done.
Alex?
Yeah, well, speaking of those two of the quickest guys on the track tonight, Randy and Glenn Murphy, what were your thoughts as you saw those two come to pit road towards the latter stages of the race? When you saw that happen, was it kind of just like you think you have it locked up for the rest of the race, or were you still a little bit worried about fuel as well?
As soon as I saw them come in, I realized that I was on the right strategy. I knew that was not going to pay off for them, and whenever they went and did their second stop, I was sitting there almost passing them as they were entering pit road. So I think I made the right strategy call there, and kind of just handed me a little bit of a bone there.
You were able to get the win for the first race of the playoffs. What do you think about the remaining schedule? We have Talladega, obviously, in that fast round. It's every week you're quick enough if the mechanical problems don't happen. But if you're able to make it through this round, Talladega, Martinsville, Phoenix, what's your thoughts on those 3 racetracks there in the final round?
Oh man, Martinsville, that's going to be a rough one. Last time we ran Martinsville, I sent Kyle to the Shadow Realm a few times, I think twice. So as long as we can get decent points at Martinsville, I think I can lock her down at Phoenix, or at least run good enough to lock down the championship.
Well, we sure hope that you make it there, and because it will definitely be a battle between. This race, there was a battle between a lot of different drivers. Pretty much anybody in the top 10 after qualifying could have won it. So it was a fun one to watch. Go ahead and give your shout outs.
Oh, shout outs. Wife downstairs who's probably not watching but doing organic chemistry homework. But shout out to her for letting me do this and have the time to do this. Shout out to you guys for broadcasting, putting on a good product for us. The admin team for just putting this all together, coordinating, planning, and just all these drivers. Because how many do we have tonight? 28 of us, and we didn't have a single unscheduled yellow. I don't think, maybe one. I don't remember, but clean racing, just a good group of folks to drive with. And yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, we are looking forward to next week there, heading to Charlotte. A lot of hometown drivers there, and we will be seeing you next week then.
Yep, we'll be seeing you.
There with Nathaniel, but coming home in P2 is going to be the man himself, Matt Frady. Kind of an underdog on that, but was able to get her done coming on P2.
Matt Frady, you got a copy, my man? Well, welcome to the booth. Solid P2 finish for you tonight. Unfortunately, just a couple of tenths back from your main competitor, Nathaniel Land. We were there. Overall thoughts on the race, and how are you feeling going into that last little run there, knowing there was a chance you had to fight for a win?
Looked at fuel, thought I was at least 3 or 4 to the good, and then that ran down real quick. So then it was kind of go into conservation mode, but still try not to, still try to gain on them, but not burn up the fuel. And then it was just one of those things where I got to them and wish I had like 3 more laps or so.
Yeah, Cabe did mention it. He said right as the checkered flag crossed is if it was a 125 lap race, that maybe you would have had a big shot there. So yeah, tires a big part of tonight's race. We saw late in the race a couple people pit. Mainly Randy Arms and Glenn Murphy. We saw those two pit late. Kind of going around asking the top 3 here, but when you saw those guys pit, what was going on in your head there? Were you pretty sure that you were going to be able to be fine for the rest of the race and that you were going to stay in front of those two, or were you worried about them coming back late race?
You mean at the very end in that last run?
Yes.
No, me and Kyle were talking about that, and when we seen them duck off and pit, we knew they were going to have to pit again. It was way too early. Even if they were to save, it would have had to have been a lot, and they would have been a lot slower. So it was just one of those things where we knew they were going to have to pit again regardless of what happened. And so by the time, we were going to pit, after we would know that we were good, our tires would have been a lot fresher. And then we would have caught back up and either went around them or caught them right as they were pitting. So we weren't really too worried about it. Just kind of conserve tire and run the race and hope you didn't burn them up and you'd be either getting loose or getting tight. And I definitely didn't make my right rear happy towards the end, that's for sure.
Yeah, very big push to the finish there. Seemingly worked out pretty well for you though, and yeah, good finish for the night. Cabe?
Yeah, I know you talked to me pre-race about saving tire and how much it is going to be a factor, and it definitely seemed to be a big tire race, but we're heading to 2 more 1.5 miles with Charlotte coming up next, and then to follow is going to be Las Vegas, your hometown track. So what is your thoughts on those 2 racetracks, similar to Kansas, but in different ways? Talk to us about those 2 tracks.
For Charlotte, I'm hoping I can have a similar run like I did with was it last season at the end with ARS, where led almost every lap except for 15. I I mean, that's ideal, but who knows what the level of talent we got here, and obviously just hoping to get one place better than tonight.
Well, we're looking forward to it, and go ahead, give your thanks and your shout outs.
Well, Randy for putting this league on, you guys for broadcasting. Oh, my son, Liam. I already backed out. I can't see any sponsors on the wall this time. Um, I want to give a shout out to Ryan with those Mo nuts. Those are pretty damn good. And then Kyle for working with me. Jake and his kid for watching. I'm sure they're either watching now or gonna be watching here shortly. Was missing him tonight, that's for sure. Hopefully he'll be back next week. So.
Well, congratulations coming home, P2, Matt, and we will be seeing you next week at Charlotte.
Thank you.
Matt Freddy there in P2, and to round it off is the Pizza Man, right? Pizza.
Yeah, the sponsor himself.
Sponsor himself, Jonathan Mazzella. Alex, go ahead and take it away.
Jonathan Mazzella, tonight's race sponsor once again. How you doing, my man?
Oh, pretty good. How you guys doing?
Yeah, not too bad up here. Got to watch an exciting finish up there. We got to watch you bring yourself home with a solid podium finish tonight. A couple seconds behind the top two, but able to hold off the rest of the field behind you for a great podium finish. And how'd you do it?
Oh man, I just love Kansas a lot. Couldn't run the top like I like to do, so that kind of killed my joy in it a little bit. But just had to kind of follow the leader and do what he did, and ended up at the top three. So I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say we saw a lot of interesting strategies go on tonight. We saw it work for some people and completely fall down the drain for quite a lot of others, and worked out pretty well for you. Yeah, like I said, tires. Very interesting topic tonight. We all knew it was going to be a pretty interesting tire race with it being Kansas, and you can kind of run multiple grooves if you can figure it out. But how were your tires feeling throughout the entirety of the race, and do you feel like it limited you at all as you guys were going throughout runs?
I didn't leave. I didn't use my imagination any. I just hung the bottom the whole time. Didn't want to try anything to spoil my race. So all in all, I feel like I could have tried some more stuff. I wasn't so points crazy, but I didn't, and we came away with the top three. So I'm happy.
Yeah, at the end of the day, a great finish for you there. And Cape, you got anything?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, because the points that you were able to get, and a lot of drivers actually having problems. Talk to us about your point situation and what you think heading into these next few races. You set yourself up pretty good with that.
Yeah, I'm just going to continue to try to have fun and hammer out some top fives. I ain't got the speed to win a lot of these, so try to beat them with consistency instead.
Yeah, we see a lot of drivers in multiple leagues take it way too serious, and it hurts them later on. So it's cool to see you having fun with it, like you mentioned. But yeah, we will be hopefully seeing you next week. Go ahead and give your shout outs and who you'd like to thank.
I appreciate y'all for broadcasting. Thanks to the league and my friends in this league for having me every week and putting up with my bull crap. And we'll see you next week, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jonathan
Good
Mazzella
night.
there. Yeah, here. Jonathan Mazzella there, coming home P3. But I have the playoff stats, or the playoff points, up on the screen now. Well, it's just the full points at the moment, but I'll have it. So if you take a look, there's the 12 playoff drivers. Nathaniel with 1,060. Mazzella, we'll just ignore the 1,000. Obviously, it's going to be 1,000. So with 49, Randy 1 point behind. Matt in fourth. Kyle ended up still getting Kevin on the points. Lilith, a bad day for her, down 6 spots. Swartz, also not a good day for him. Michael, Casey, Landon, Brandon. So I think those finishes where they struggled there at the end and either got caught up on the pit strategies really hurt them there, Alex.
Yeah, I was gonna say at the end of the day, a lot of these finishing positions for some of these playoff contenders are not gonna be what they wanted tonight. I mean, just going down through the field. I mean, obviously Nathaniel Lane, we're taking the win tonight. Great for his playoffs. Mazzella, great for him as well. Able to boost up himself up a couple of spots and be a little bit behind in the points already. Pretty decent sized gap there already, but still P2 in the standings so far. Both of the Ritchie brothers, good points for them. But everybody on back is Jonathan Schwartz down in P9 is not what he's going to want tonight, and everybody else who's in the playoffs outside of the top 10. So, not what these guys are going to want for points. So, hopefully, they can have a bounce back next week. I believe, like you said, we're going to Charlotte next week, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so going to be an interesting one there. We'll see if anybody can bounce back. But, yeah, very interesting start to this first playoff round for sure.
Yeah, and we'll see how Charlotte is for these drivers. Similar track, the way it races is a multi-groove racetrack with these Xfinity cars, and then Las Vegas as well. So 3 multi-groove tracks heading into this next race. This is I'm excited for it. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch how these drivers try to gain points back. We saw Lilith was second in points or second or third in points during the regular season. Now she's in a hole with P7. Kevin obviously was able to make the playoffs, but he's up a good amount of spots over some big dogs. And Swartz was, been pretty much top 5 every race. He has, well, I can show you the stats, I guess, right here. Swartz has 1 pole and then 3 top 5s and 5 top 10s. So he's been very consistent this season. But with the playoffs, first race, he's going to be in a hole. So we'll see how he comes back from it next week. But that is going to do it for this one. So headed to Charlotte next Tuesday. 125 laps around there. I'm Kid McClinty, my co-host Alex, and we'll see you guys next week.